Hase Kaminovenbau has been manufacturing stoves in Trier for more than 30 years now. State-of-the-art production processes are combined with solid craftsmanship to create stoves with quality made in Germany. The first step in the manufacturing process is to laser cut the individual stove parts from steel sheets. The extremely precise laser machine cuts down to 1/10 of a millimeter. After all the different parts have been cut out, they are shaped or beveled with a roll bending machine, depending on what is needed for the individual stove design. A robot welding machine is used to weld the stove pieces together. Mounting parts such as the firebox doors are clamped into a jig and welded by hand. In a fully automatic sandblasting process, the surface of the stove and all of its mounting parts are then cleaned and roughened to prepare them for the painting step. Next, the stove is finished with a high heat-resistant metallic paint in the coating unit. After the stove has been coated with paint, the movable parts are installed on the stove body. The firebox door and ceramic glass are carefully and tightly sealed. The bottom of the firebox is lined with durable steel casting. Fireproof thermal bricks, which are customized for each individual stove, are inserted on the sides of the firebox. Later on, we'll see how these thermal bricks are produced. After the firebox door has been mounted, the stove goes to the quality control department, where it undergoes rigorous testing and inspections. Many of the stove models can be cladded with ceramic. The ceramic is crafted right on site at Hase. This process requires a high degree of skill and know-how. You need a deft touch and a lot of experience just to make sure that the raw mixture of water, clay and fire clay is exactly right. There are individual molds for each ceramic stove. The liquid ceramic mass is filled into the molds. After hardening for 12 to 14 hours, the ceramic cast has set and can be removed from its mold. The material is still very soft and pliable, and so the edges can be carefully shaped by hand. To make sure that stress cracks don't form when shaping large round ceramic designs, a gap is left on the back of the cast, which will be carefully smoothed over later on. The ceramic then dries in the climate chamber for 15 hours, first at low temperatures and then with a controlled addition of moisture, and later at temperatures up to 90 degrees Celsius. After it has dried, the ceramic can be further processed. Any unevenness or minor irregularities are fixed before the glaze color is applied in the spraying process. The color is still invisible at first. The ceramic does not develop its color and hardness until it has been in the furnace for a good 40 hours at a temperature of over 1000 degrees Celsius. In the next step, the ceramic is inspected again and packed in wood wool to make sure it is well protected. A fireproof, well-insulating material is needed for the chamber where the fire burns. Hase uses thermal bricks for this purpose, which are made from a mineral called vermiculite. Vermiculite is extracted from natural mica schist. It is processed with sodium silicate in the mixing tank and then filled into molds that are specially designed for each individual stove. A machine uses high pressure to compress the slabs. The edges are neatly contoured by hand. The thermal bricks are dried for 16 hours at 120 degrees and then finally mounted in the stove. Stoves, ceramic tiles and flue pipes in a wide variety of colors and versions are stored in the high racks of the shipping warehouse. The stoves are strapped onto pallets and shrink-wrapped in protective foil. Securely packed, they make their way to the shop and then into the living rooms of the customers.